The universe does not need monsters to kill you. It can do it with a rock, a star, a burst of light, or a rule of physics you never even knew existed. Some cosmic disasters give no warning. Some begin millions of years before they reach Earth, and some do not destroy the planet directly. They just remove the one thing life needs to survive: sunlight, air, heat, stable orbits, time. This is every way the universe could kill you, explained from the most obvious to the most impossible. Asteroid impact. This is the simplest cosmic death. A rock moves through space and Earth gets in the way, but some of these rocks are not small. They are mountains moving faster than bullets. If one hits Earth, the explosion is only the beginning. The real danger comes after. Dust and vaporized rock rise into the sky, blocking sunlight across the planet. Plants die first, then animals, then everything that depends on them. The dinosaurs were not wiped out because Earth exploded. They were wiped out because the sky changed. But at least asteroids can sometimes be seen coming. The next threat comes from the object keeping us alive right now: the sun. Solar superstorm. The sun looks safe because it rises every morning. It gives Earth light, warmth, seasons, weather, and almost every living thing depends on it. But the sun is not a quiet ball of fire. It is a violent ocean of plasma, magnetic fields, and explosions larger than our entire planet. Sometimes the sun throws a storm into space. Not a storm of rain or wind, but a storm of charged particles. If it hits Earth, our magnetic field takes the first punch. The sky near the poles can glow beautifully, but behind that beauty is a warning. Electricity is being pushed through the planet's magnetic shield. A strong enough solar storm would not melt cities or burn forests. It would attack the nervous system of civilization. Satellites could fail, GPS could disappear, radio signals could collapse, power grids could overload, and entire regions could go dark. The terrifying part is that humans would survive the storm itself. The problem is, everything we built might not. But at least the sun is our star. The next threat comes from a star dying somewhere else. Supernova. A supernova is what happens when a massive star reaches the end of its life and collapses under its own weight. For most of its existence, the star is fighting a war against gravity. Its core pushes outward with heat and pressure, while gravity pulls everything inward. But when the fuel runs out, gravity wins. The core collapses in seconds. Then the outer layers blast into space with such force that one dying star can shine brighter than an entire galaxy for a short time. If this happened close enough to Earth, the explosion would not need to touch us. The radiation could damage the ozone layer, leaving the surface exposed to deadly ultraviolet light. Plants, animals, and entire food chains could begin to fail. The scariest part is that the star would have died before we even saw it happen. But a supernova throws energy in every direction. The next threat is worse, because it fires like a weapon. Gamma-ray burst. A gamma-ray burst is one of the most violent explosions in the universe. But unlike a supernova, it does not spread its energy evenly in every direction. It fires it in two narrow beams, like a cosmic lighthouse built out of pure destruction. These bursts can happen when massive stars collapse into black holes, or when dead stars crash together. For a few seconds, they can release more energy than the sun will produce in its entire lifetime. And if Earth happened to be in the path of one of those beams, distance might not save us. The burst would not blow the planet apart. It would do something quieter and more terrifying. It could strip away part of the ozone layer, letting deadly radiation from the sun reach the surface. The sky would still be blue. The oceans would still be there, but life would begin dying from the top down. And the worst part is the warning. There would not be one. Because the burst travels at the speed of light, we would see it only when it had already arrived. But even light is not the only thing space can throw at us. Sometimes the danger is an entire planet with no star. Rogue planet. A rogue planet is a world without a star. No sunrise, no sunset, no seasons. Just a frozen planet drifting through the dark between stars, completely invisible until it gets close enough to disturb something. And that is what makes it dangerous. A rogue planet does not need to crash into Earth. It only needs to pass nearby. Its gravity could pull on planets, comets, and asteroids like an invisible hand moving pieces on a table. One small change in orbit could send thousands of frozen objects falling toward the inner solar system. Imagine a bowling ball rolling past a perfectly arranged set of marbles. It might not touch the one you care about, but the whole pattern changes anyway. The terrifying part is that the planet itself could be almost impossible to see. No star lights it up, no surface glows. It is just mass moving through darkness. But a rogue planet is still only a planet. The next object is a dead star with a magnetic field strong enough to break matter itself. Magnetar. A magnetar is a dead star with a magnetic field so powerful it almost sounds fake. It is what remains after a massive star collapses, crushing more mass than the Sun into a sphere only about the size of a city. But its size is not the scary part. The scary part is the magnetism. A normal magnet can pull a paperclip across a table. A magnetar can pull on atoms themselves. If one somehow passed too close to Earth, its magnetic field could damage electronics, strip atmospheres, and tear apart the delicate structures that matter depends on. And magnetars do not even need to touch us. Sometimes they release giant flares, sudden blasts of energy so strong they can affect space across enormous distances. It is not a planet, it is not a star, it is a corpse that can still scream. But magnetars are visible when they explode. The next threat can hide completely. Black hole. A black hole is not a cosmic vacuum cleaner. It does not chase planets across space. From far away, it behaves like any other object with the same mass, but get too close and the rules change. A black hole is a place where gravity has become so strong that every path leads inward. Not just matter, not just light, even the future points down. The edge is called the event horizon. Once something crosses it, escape is no longer difficult. It is impossible. There is no engine powerful enough, no rocket fast enough, no direction that leads back out. And before you reached that point, gravity could stretch you apart. The side of your body closer to the black hole would be pulled harder than the side farther away. This is called spaghettification, and it is exactly as horrifying as it sounds. But most black holes are dangerous only if you get close. The next kind might pass through space almost unseen. Wandering black hole. Most people imagine black holes sitting in the centers of galaxies, but some black holes do not stay in one place. They can drift through space, silent, dark, and almost impossible to see. A wandering black hole is dangerous because it might not glow. Black holes are easiest to detect when they are eating gas, dust, or stars, but if one is moving through empty space, it gives off almost no light at all. It becomes a hole in the universe with no sign around it. It would not need to hit Earth. If it passed close enough to the solar system, its gravity could disturb orbits, fling comets inward, or slowly pull planets out of place. The disaster might begin before anyone understood what was causing it. The scariest threat is not always the brightest one. Sometimes it is the thing you cannot see until everything around it starts moving wrong. But even black holes are small compared to the next disaster, because galaxies themselves can collide. Galactic collision. A galactic collision sounds like the biggest crash possible. Two galaxies, each holding billions of stars, moving toward each other until they merge into one enormous system. But here is the strange part. Almost nothing actually hits. Galaxies look crowded from far away, but inside they are mostly empty space. If the Sun were a grain of sand, the nearest star would be another grain of sand several miles away. So when two galaxies collide, most stars simply pass through the gaps like ghosts walking through each other. But that does not make it safe. Gas clouds slam together, new stars ignite, gravity twists entire spiral arms out of shape. black holes at the centers of both galaxies can wake up and begin feeding. Orbits that were stable for billions of years can be changed forever. The danger is not one giant explosion. It is chaos on a scale too large to picture. But even galaxies crashing together still follow the laws of physics. The next threat is what happens when those laws themselves may not be stable. Vacuum decay. Vacuum decay is the most terrifying possibility because it does not destroy objects inside the universe. It destroys the rules the objects depend on. Physics may be stable, or it may only look stable, the way a ball can rest on the edge of a hill for a long time before it suddenly rolls down. If the vacuum of space is not in its lowest possible energy state, then somewhere, someday, it could collapse into a more stable form. That collapse would create a bubble of new physics. Inside it, the forces that hold atoms together might change. Matter might stop working. Chemistry might become impossible. Stars, planets, people, and light itself could be rewritten into something that cannot support life. And here is the worst part. The bubble would expand at the speed of light. That means no warning. No telescope would see it coming. No civilization could escape it. The moment you detected it would be the same moment it arrived. Asteroids can be diverted. Solar storms can be prepared for. Black holes can be avoided. But if reality itself changes, there is nowhere outside reality to hide. If you made it this far, comment vacuum, so I know you survived the entire universe trying to kill you.